Hello and welcome to the Loose Boho Reviews. I am your host Smokey, and joining with me as always is my co-host Spooge.
Hello.
And as always, before we get into it, I have to give the 3 rules of our rating system. The first rule is it must be a fraction of 5. 1 means we hate it, 5 means we love it. Rule number 2, if we are disappointed and we want our money back, we give it a good old Jeff Goldblum. And rule number 3, if we all agree that it deserves a God tier, a 6 out of 5, then it will get a God tier. And today we are reviewing Mothra.
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 Yeah. Hell yeah.
From
I need to pull up the wiki.
1961. Yeah, you do. You do need to pull up the wiki. And I am trying to... Oh, it's at full volume, apparently. I do.
Wait, your volume got kind of weird, muffled.
Yeah, I do not believe that it's at full volume. But
oh shit! Now you're loud.
Yeah, apparently it's at full volume.
Gaslight.
All right, this is from Mothra from 1961 is a Japanese kaiju film directed by Ishiro Honda, the director of
with special effects by.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yes, he and the special effects of Etrigan is also the special effects e.g. Tubisari. Subaraya. We did not confirm if the T was silent or not on this.
I'm pretty sure it is because I remember it rolls off the tongue now because like the name sounds familiar to me now. It's pretty sure it's Subaraya.
Okay, it is produced
like tsunami.
The film is produced and distributed by Toho, of course, and it is the first film in the Mothra series. You still there?
Yes.
Okay,
I was. You're skipping the actors, right? Because we would get to them.
Yeah. We're skipping
the Peanuts.
We're going down to.
Oh shit! I was really kidding. Sorry, I kind of got a little like taken off my guard there because I was looking at the list of actors and actresses, and then I saw the Peanuts.
Yeah,
which apparently is the twins.
Yeah, they're the twins. Yeah.
But when I think of the Peanuts, I'm thinking fucking Shirley fucking Brown.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you mean.
Ballhead fuck.
I know exactly what you mean when it comes to the Peanuts. But let's get into the production. All right.
Production.
During the summer of 1960, producer Tomoyuki Tanaka
Tomoyuki Tanaka hired Shin'ichirō Nakamura.
Shin'ichirō Nakamura to write an original story for a kaiju film. Nakamura collaborated with
Takehiko Fukunaga.
Takehiko Fukunaga and Zini Hato, sometimes credited as Yoshi Hata, with each writer writing one part of the story. The Glowing Fairies and Mothra was then serialized in weekly Ashi Extra magazine in January 1961. Tanaka contacted Shu Watanabe.
Yeah.
about casting the Peanuts in the film. Watanabe gave the twins permission to participate in the film due to being impressed with the uniqueness of the idea. However, Toho had difficulty with scheduling the twins to shoot their scenes due to contractual obligations with Watanabe Productions. For the film, Honda wanted a more Disney-inspired approach, stating, "We wanted to do something that was new for the whole family, like a Disney or Hollywood type of picture." Tanaka created the name Mothra by combining the Japanese word for moth, moso, and the suffix ra, taken from Godzilla's Japanese name, Gojira. Adding the suffix ra would become a common practice for naming monsters, not just in Toho productions. Examples being King Ghidorah, Ebra, and Hedorah, but in non-Toho Japanese productions, example being Gamera.
Gamera!
Which is the flying
Yes.
turtle, which I always mistakenly think is part of Godzilla. But is
No.
it is not. It's not. It would be cool though.
People wish.
It would be so fucking cool to see Gamera and Godzilla fight, but that suit would be hard to the actor in the Godzilla suit would get knocked the fuck out when they had to spin Gamera. And
Oh yeah. But there's definitely there's someone out there that's been waiting like over 60 years, still waiting for that Gamera versus Godzilla movie.
It ain't never gonna happen. It ain't never
if King Kong fights in the Gamera, surely.
Oh, that would be upsetting if there's one person that's stubbornly staying alive to see it, and the day before it releases, just like in his excitement, in their excitement, oh, I'm going to see it, yeah, boy. Oh
God! Is life a tragedy or comedy? You decide.
Let's get into the writing. Prior to the original story being written, Toho held story meetings to discuss ideas. One of the ideas included to have Mothra emit a ray beam. While writing the original story, The Glowing Fairies of Mothra, Nakamura chose a giant moth because he wanted a creature that underwent a transformation. Producer Tanaka later confirmed that the female perspective for the film was suggested by another producer during the early planning stages. This inspired Tanaka to come up with the idea for the Shobijin and their roles as guardian spirits of a South Seas island. Their character,
Shin'ichirō
Fukuda was named after the writers of the original story. In the original
Fuck you, Dad.
In the original story, Fukuda is not on the initial expedition and ventures to Infant Island alone later. The natives reveal to Fukuda the legend of Infant Island, with the mythology behind Infant Island including Christian-like overtones which feature two gods. That's not
It's a Japanese understanding. A non-Christian Japanese understanding of Christianity.
Ojima.
Like, I don't know, those guys that we like put in boiling pots, back in the day.
which featured two gods, Ojima, the god of eternal night, and Ochiko, the goddess of daylight, conceiving a giant glowing egg, smaller eggs, and a pair of humans which reproduce and repopulate the island. The smaller eggs hatch caterpillars which turn into moths and fly away, which enrages Injima to condemn all living
Wait,
things to death.
we're.
And
I'm sorry. I missed this. I missed this point in the movie. I
they
didn't
didn't
get that all the humans were. Are they suggesting that the two little women are the ones that made all the tribal people? They gave birth to
parent
all of them?
apparently in the book, yeah. Apparently in the book. Because this is
Huh.
story from the book. Let me
Oh,
clarify.
okay.
This is story from the actual book.
Gotcha. I was
So,
about to say, I'm like, I did not pay attention.
so when the moths fly away and it enrages Injima to condemn all living things to death and commit suicide by tearing himself into 4 pieces. Okay. Heartbroken, Achika also commits suicide by also tearing herself into 4 pieces, which turn into 4 small immortal fairies dedicated to serving Mothra of the giant glowing egg. Fukuda
Just like when
remains.
Jesus nailed himself onto the cross,
I
when
guess
he
so.
committed suicide.
Fukuda remains on the island and is later awakened by Nelson's gunfire, witnessing Nelson kidnapping the Shobijin and the native relatives. Uh,
Michiko.
Mikiko was originally written as Chujo's assistant and the leader of the protest group that unsuccessfully pressures Nelson to release the Shobijin. The original story featured political parallels to and then controversial ratification
Ratification. Yeah.
of security treaty between Japan and the United States. However, Sekizawa omitted the political backdrop in his version. Omitted the political backdrop in his version. The original story featured the Razaklin embassy ambassador. Yeah, I don't know why I was fucking that up. Sending a fleet to protect Nelson and his property from Mothra. While adapting the story from the film, screenwriter Shinichi Tsukazawa picked his favorite aspects of the story and ignored everything else. Tsukazawa patterned his script after the original King Kong and Godzilla films. Tsukazawa felt that too much detail will confuse audience and that it was more important to keep audience entertained, stating, "My philosophy is to just add enough to tell the story and keep it moving along." Honda later admitted
Not what
that
they did in Atragon.
definitely not what they did in Atragon. They should have did better.
Yeah.
Honda later admitted that the fantasy elements were Tsukazawa's idea, while Honda was interested in the anti-nuclear themes.
It's all he wants.
Yeah, that's all he get. That's all we get most of the time. Originally, Hata wanted to include an anti-discrimination message based on a person's size. Hey, that
Little
would
tiny
have been
people.
that would have been a unique, message to be given. That would have given
Oh
the
yeah.
film something. That would have been something for the movie.
It's just funny to see the little man representation out there, and I mean, at the time, that was like at a time when like you would, I mean, I didn't know if it was really a thing in Japan, but I know in America, like you get passed up on a job if you're like short. They're like, you can't do it. You ain't a man. You're fucking half my size.
So that's definitely something that probably should have been in the movie, actually. Okay, so the original story featured 4 fairies.
Ooh.
Sukazawa felt 4 was necessary and trimmed the members to 2, feeling that 2 fairies was manageable. The original story had the Shobijin stand at 60 centimeters, but Sukazawa felt the size was too big and could create difficulties when building the sets. One of the original ideas had one of the Shobijin fall in love with one of the leads. However, Sukazawa dropped this idea because he felt
Thank God.
it would have required many twists and turns and would have taken time away from Mothra. Originally,
Porn would
Mothra.
have been too much.
Oh, it would have started something that would have never ended. Originally, Mothra was to cocoon herself at the National Diet Building, but Tsukuzawa felt it was spectral enough and changed the setting to Tokyo Tower. Wasn't spectacular enough. I keep fucking these these simple fucking words up.
It's because you edit it. You do what I do when you edit your own words in there, and then you're like, oh, that's not what it says, and then you go in between it, and it gets jumbled, and you have
It was
dyslexia a little bit.
hey
That's why I've been That's why I've been trying to help you with the Japanese ones. It's a
I'm
lot.
very grateful.
It's a lot.
It was Sukazawa's decision to refer to the twins as Shobijin, small beauties, feeling that small fairies from Infant Island was too long to write. Sukazawa coined the name Infant Island simply because it sounded good. The United States, several promotional materials referred to the Shobijin as Alinas, despite Japanese
Huh.
production. Despite Japanese publications and materials not using the term, Honda explained that the name originated from the original story that featured a fairy named Alina. The name reached the publicity department for overseas markets. Honda had originally written a scene that showed an area of the island bombed by the atomic bomb, but due to budget cuts, the scene was not filmed.
Yeah. Getting into the music.
Yes, we're getting into the music, which is a very short blurb, but the score was composed by Yuji Koseki
Yeah.
and Akira Ifubiki. I'm fucking that up. I'm Akira
Fukubi.
Ifubuku. I'm
That one,
fucking it up.
that one fucks me up too, because that one came up before. Ifu, Ifukubi, I think. It's
Ifubuki
Ifukubi.
was
Ifukubi.
originally given the offer to compose the film, but declined, feeling he wasn't confident enough to create music for the Peanuts.
Who the fuck are the Peanuts? They seem
Okay,
huge.
we will get into it. I was trying to save it, but since we are on the music, I guess it is warranted to finally go over the Peanuts. I was saving it for casting, but we'll go over the Peanuts because the Peanuts are a Japanese vocal group consisting of twin sisters Emi and Yumi. They was born on April 1st, 1941. They are identical twins that had voices only slightly apart in timbre, which resulted in their singing together sounding like a solo artist utilizing double tracking or reverb.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That makes me want to hear that. What the fuck
they
that sounds like?
it was they're a very big group. They're a very big music group. They were big deal. There's a reason why they're fucking the Mothra song is so fucking good. They're the reason
Gotcha.
why. But yes, Peanuts, huge musical group. The lyrics for the Mothra theme was written in Japanese and translated into Indonesian
Indonesian. Yeah.
at Tokyo University by a Indonesian exchange student. The track "The Girls of Infant Island" was released as a single in 1961, while the track "Song of Mothra" was released as a single in 1978. The track "Daughters of Infant Island" was co-written by the film assistant director Koji
Tajita.
Kojita, and that is the music.
Yes.
Now we are getting into the meat of the production, the special effects.
Oh shit.
Yes, as we know,
Take a breath.
It's gonna be a minute. The film's special effects were directed by Yuji Tobasari again. The Peanuts filmed their scenes separately from the main cast. They filmed most of their scenes in front of a blue screen and oversized sets. Their scenes were later composited into the film.
Yeah.
My beads. The Peanuts never interacted with the cast. They probably could not afford that. Like, when I say the Peanuts were big, they were pretty big. Like, the fact that they were in this movie was a miracle.
Though it looked like they didn't really need to.
Yeah, that's true. Instead, dolls were used for the actors to interact with, while a tape recorder with the Peanuts lines was played back. Newkirk City was designed after Manhattan, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Honda originally intended to film second unit photography in Los Angeles, but due to the budget inflating because of the Newkirk City scenes, Honda had to use library footage of LA highways and beachfronts instead. I still only thought that it was based on New York. I did not get any San Francisco or LA vibes.
I didn't either. It looked like New York fucked Italy. It was weird.
Yeah. But hey, I guess that's what the Italy aspects were supposed to be, was the San Francisco and the LA stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really understand. Like, it's weird because he's just used real like American like places before, but it was just weird that randomly this time we got Newkirk City all like out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but hey,
I always like wonder if like he overthinks like because there's like always like so many like things of like, oh yeah, we'll take out like the main part of this atomic thing, like if he's like assuming that America is going to be taking like offense more than they probably would.
yeah, that's probably what it is. He's just
But
trying
we
not
don't
to
care. We have
offend the
like
American
movies blowing
audience.
up. Yeah, we have like movies blowing up shit, like blowing up monuments and shit. Like, we don't give a fuck.
I mean, Independence Day. Look at that. I mean, that's way later on, but I mean, we made Independence Day.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
It's a little later.
Them blew it up. Them bastards
They
blew
blew
it up.
Yeah. We ain't got no respect.
So, Honda also intended to show how the inhabitants of Infant Island survived a nuclear blast, but budget cost forced him to use a bland cave instead. Honda wanted to create a type of mold for the island, and asked the art department to create it, but this idea was dropped due to budget costs.
Dang.
The infant island natives were portrayed by Japanese actors in don't try
Dark
to
makeup.
in dark makeup. It says, you know, we're just gonna leave it at that. You know, if you know, you know. If you don't, I guess it's for the best. The live action dam footage was filmed in Corby Dam during a production meeting. The special effects artist told the staff he wanted 4 water tanks to create the raging waters that breaks the dams. His chief assistant's art director instead built 12 tanks, which held
You want some fucking water tanks? I'll give you some fucking water tanks.
It held 4,320 gallons of water.
He was gonna flood. He was actually just gonna make a flood.
He was gonna break the fucking dam whether you wanted him to or not.
Fuck yeah. That's how you do it. Give that man a raise.
The dam was built at a 1/50th scale and 4 meters high. The miniature mountains around the dam were built with concrete to withstand the pressure of the water. A decision that upset the effects director due to being unable to move the set in order to set up cameras.
Dude, I just asked for 4, man. What the fuck? I can't fucking move shit around.
I think he was also upset the mountains were made of concrete as well.
Oh yeah. Like they're mountains. You can't just be made out of paper. You told me to build a mountain. I'm building a mountain that can fucking stand.
We can't fucking move a rock. They're giant rocks now.
Yeah, you don't move mountains, dude. You want fucking mountains?
The dam was also designed to realistically crumble under the weight of the water, but due to this, only a small amount of the water came out during the first try. 3 attempts were made to force the water out of the dam, and the dam had to be weakened for the effect to succeed.
I just imagine Subaraya just like smacking it with a hammer, like, alright, fucking.
I've had enough of this shit.
The dam's coming down one way. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this hole.
Hey, he's on the right path.
That'll be my one exit. Yes.
He was on the right path. Tear down the fucking wall. Alright, since the effects artist was unable to move the cameras, all 3 takes were edited together. Several props of various scales were created for the caterpillar and adult Mothra, including one caterpillar prop used specifically for the water scenes. A giant suit was produced for the caterpillar Mothra, which allowed larger sets and details to be included. The suit was the largest monster suit that Toho had ever produced. It was built at 1/25th scale and was 7 meters long and required 5 to 6 actors inside to move it. Damn.
Yeah. About almost, yeah, that makes sense because I think a meter is like about kind of like the average height of someone.
Yeah. But still, that's fucking ridiculous that they made something so big. Like, they didn't need it that big.
Human centipeding him.
Them motherfuckers were
Yeah.
tired after operating that.
Oh yeah, you got to do the worm. You got to wiggle around.
All right, so Haru Naka, Nakajima
Oh,
and uh,
Tatsumi
Tatsumi
Tezuka.
Tezuka led members of the special effects art staff inside the suit. A head-operated model of the caterpillar was also produced. The hand
Oh yeah, I guess
model.
we should uh mention that Tezuka. Every time we were saying Tezuka, that's the Godzilla, like one of the main Godzilla actors as well,
Oh
suit
yeah, yeah.
actors.
We should. Yeah, yeah. My beads. I'm trying to.
Just to put
There's
it
a
in
lot.
perspective.
In my defense, we got a lot to go through.
Oh yeah,
So I gotta try to plow through this stuff as fast as possible.
for sure.
A hand operated model of the caterpillar was also produced. The hand model had a more narrow oval shape than the other models and had small legs at the bottom and featured that which models lacked. And other features that the models have lacked. The Tokyo Tower
Hmm.
model was built by a metal works company. The tower model was built using blueprints by the Toho effects staff who photographed and researched the real tower. However, the blueprints only showed one side of the tower, which forced the metal works company to figure out the angles to build the other sides. The effects staff had initially requested the original blueprints for Tokyo Tower, but were unable to attain them. Toho closely guarded the custom tower model blueprints to keep competing studios from benefiting from Toho's work. Mothra's silk was created from a form of liquid styrofoam called expanded poly
Polystyrene.
polystyrene. Yeah, a small model and large model was built for the atomic ray cannon.
Nice.
Okay, so three different models were built for the adult Mothra. Each with different functions. A mid-size model with more flexible wings was used for the hatching scene. The model sized, the mid-size model has a smaller thorax, and the wingspan is shorter compared to the other models. The large model was built in 1/100th scale with a wingspan of 2.5 meters. Due to this, the wing movement was less flexible. The eyes were lit by light bulbs from inside the head, and the eyes were constructed from clear latex. The smaller model was only used for extreme long shots of Mothra advancing on Newkirk City. That to make the wings flap, the models were suspended on wires from an overhead motorized brace that would open and close. The wires were attached at the center of the wings rather than the tips, which allowed the wings to freely flap at the edges.
Oh,
There is actually an alternate ending to this. I did
oh,
not know that. Toho had deemed Mothra's attack on Newkirk City too expensive and advised Honda and Tsukuzawa to write a more budget-friendly climax. The new ending had Nelson and his crew take Shinji hostage near a volcano, which Nelson falls into after Mothra flaps her wings. Toho's contract with Columbia Pictures stipulated that the climax needed to take place in an American style city. Toho sent a letter to Columbia Pictures requesting approval to change the climax, but rather than wait for a reply, Toho instructed Honda to proceed with the principal photography as planned. The new ending was the first scene to be filmed in Kagoshima Prefecture near Mount Kirishima. However, around the same time, Columbian Pictures denied Toho's request for alternations. Surviving images of the alternate ending appeared in official publicity materials. However, the footage was never developed. While filming the alternate ending, the Nelson dummy used to be plunged into the volcano was later found by locals who believed it to be a suicide. Authorities retrieved the body, which led to Honda and his crew to be roundly scolded.
Hey, that shit ain't funny.
Damn it, man.
You know how many people are jumping off this shit? A fucking day.
Oh my god. I would never have assumed that there are people that have committed suicide via volcano, but I guess it's a thing that happens.
I also like that Newkirk City is like, oh, it's supposed to be like, you know, a combination of San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York, but has a volcano.
Where's Mount Helen? Mount Helen's over there, ain't it?
Is it? Can you fall in it and die? I guess.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think Mount Helen's active.
Is it sleeping? I know it erupted like a long time ago.
It's
like
in Montana. It's relatively. In Montana.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm giving them an excuse for that shit. They don't know. They don't know what Montana is.
But if I'm not mistaken, it is not active. The volcano is a part of... Is it an active volcano? Is it dormant? What is it? What is it?
I thought it exploded like in the early 1900s at one time, and that was like the last time.
It last erupted in 2008, actually. So it is still active. I'm going to say it's an active volcano still.
But it's not like you don't look down at it and it's like
active.
Full of
yeah,
lava,
it's active.
Though. Like in Hawaii, though.
I don't think so. No. But still, there is an active volcano in the general vicinity. I'm gonna give him a pass.
Okay. Montana. That's the general vicinity. It's like but farthest away also from Los Angeles and from fucking New York, and Montana like right in the middle.
No, Montana's kind of in the Montana's on the east on the west coast.
I don't know about these flyover states, all right?
I guess you can kind of say it's Midwest. I guess you could kind of say it's mid.
It's still yeah, I guess it's technically just 2 states away from California, but I mean those are 2 really big states. They're long anyway. It's going down long ways.
I'm not gonna fucking Mount Helen is famous, but Montana's not. I'm not gonna be like, oh, they know about Mount Helen, but they don't know about Montana. It's completely fine.
You sure don't know about Christianity.
Oh no, they don't. They definitely don't know about Christianity. They botched that up completely.
They get like a moon god and like a sun god, right? Some crazy pig and shit like that.
Moon god and a sun goddess.
We kind of used to. But that's a whole other thing.
Yes. All right. So, let us get into the plot of the movie. Let's get into the plot.
Yes.
So, in the waters of Infant Island, a presumed uninhabited island site for Rosakin atomic test, the
Roliskin.
atomic test,
Roluskin.
yes, whatever that word is, atomic test, the fucking Donnie,
Daini Ginyu Maru.
yeah, is caught and run aground in the turbulence of a typhoon. A rescue party following the storms finds four sailors alive and strangely unafflicted
Afflicted.
with radiation sickness, which they attribute to juice provided them by island natives. The story is broken by tenacious reporter uh, Zenchuri. I'm fucking the
Zenichiro
Zenichiro
Fukuda.
Zenichiro Fukuda, and photographer Michi Hanamura, who, if God damn it,
Infiltrate.
who infiltrated the hospital, examining the survivors. The Rosakin embassy responds by co-sponsoring a joint Japanese Rosakin scientific expedition to Infant Island. I kind of need to slow down a little bit.
Okay, and maybe it'll kind of help you that the Roliskin is basically the which is weird because they almost put a little bit of a Russian spin on there, but I guess that's the made up version of the U.S. that has Newkirk City.
Okay.
And
So
that's what Nelson is.
led by capitalist Clark
Capitalist,
Nelson.
yeah. Yeah, you could just say U.S. whenever you see Roliskin.
Also on the expedition are radiation specialist Dr. Harada and linguist and
Linguist.
anthropologist Shinji Chojo and stowaway reporter Fukuda. Chujo has studied the cultures of islands in the area and God damn it.
Oh, ascertained.
I was cleaning my phone, my bad. Ascertained that one of the key hieroglyphs in their written language, a radiant cross-shaped star, translates as Mothra. Uh, there, the team discover a vast jungle of mutated flora, and fleeing native tribe, and two young women, only 12 inches tall, who save Chujo from being eaten by a vampire plant. Did not realize that was what was happening, but okay. The Shobujin, as Fukudo dubs them, wish their island to be spared further atomic testing. Acknowledging this message, the team returns and conceals these events from the public. Nelson, however, returns to the island with a crew of henchmen and abducts the girl, gunning down several natives who try to save them.
That's not how it happened. That's not how it happened because they were all together with the reporters, and those reporters were taking part in that slaughter. These fucking reporters that try to make themselves look clean, but I saw the good characters gunning them down as the tribe people were just clicking their little rocks. The fucking war crime. They're hiding their war crimes again.
They weren't even trying to save the girls. They were just like being all high strange, clicking their rocks together. They weren't doing anything else.
God damn it.
So, while Nelson profits off a secret fairy show in Tokyo featuring the girls singing Both they and the island natives beseech their god Mothra, a giant egg, for help. Fukuda, Hanamura, and Kujo, Kuj, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking say Kujo. Uh,
Cujo, yeah. Cujo works.
uh, communicated communicate with the young women via telepathy. They express conviction that Mothra will come to their aid and warn that good people are sure to be hurt. Fukuda's newspaper has accused Nelson of holding the girls against their will. Nelson denies the charge and files a libel suit against the paper. Meanwhile, the island's egg hatches to reveal Mothra, a giant caterpillar who begins swimming the Pacific Ocean towards Japan. Um, Mothra destroys a cruise ship and survives a napalm attack on a beeline path for Tokyo. The United States Embassy, however, defends Nelson's property rights over the girls, ignoring any connection to the monster. You know, what a
Mhm.
way to portray U.S. history. They're
Oh
gunning
yeah.
down they're gunning down natives. They're taking people against their will and calling them their property. Like that. That did what is like that's very subtle and ingenious in a way. I didn't catch on to that while watching the movies. Like I've never caught on to that.
Also, basically, like taking part with like this deal with like Japan and kind of playing friends with them when like hiding the monster of like the nuclear monster that is also been created too
Yep.
and used upon them. Oh, it's deep.
Oh,
That
it,
Honda, he gets you.
they got deeper than you thought than you
Hmm.
think they would.
Yeah, which is surprising. I'm like, it must have been really heavy-handed if a lot of Honda's like stuff got taken out.
So, Mothra arrives at the Japanese mainland, um, impervious to the barrage of weaponry, like all kaiju, directed at it, and builds a cocoon in the ruins of the Tokyo Tower. Public feeling turns against Nelson, and he is ordered to release the girls. He flees incognito to the United States with the Shobojin concealed in a suitcase, where Mothra, newly hatched in
Imago form.
Umago form, resumes her search. Police scour Newkirk City for Nelson as Mothra lays waste to the metropolis. Nelson attempts to flee the city, but while driving through the streets, he is recognized by civilians and is killed in the in the resultant shootout by police.
America!
America! America. America.
Fuck yeah.
The girls are uh, the girls are assigned to Kojo's care. Church bells begin to ring, and sunlight illuminates the cross atop the steeple with radiant beams, reminding Kujo and Hanamura of Mothra's unique symbol and of the girls' voices. At Kojo's suggestion, numerous church bells are rung simultaneously in order to attract Mothra to an airport runway at which Mothra's symbol had been painted. The girls are returned, and Mothra flies back to Infant Island.
Oh.
Yay! Yay!
Yay!
Yay!
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
That's the movie. That's the plot. That's the plot for you folks.
Hell yeah.
And we get some themes.
Oh.
Apparently, authors Stephen Rolfe and Ed
One second.
Godzins. This is.
One second. First off, authors Steve Rifle and
Right.
Ed
That might be riffle. That might be riffle.
Godzowski. Could
That
be
actually
Riffle,
might be riffle.
but Godzowski. Ah man, it's really that little zis in. It wouldn't be hard if it wasn't for that little zis in there. Godzowski. God, that's hard to.
Zinzwinski. Godzwinzinski.
Says
Godzwinzinski. That's what it is.
yeah,
Godzwinzinski.
that's even harder than any of the Japanese names.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Them fucking. But they.
Polish.
Them authors. Them fucking authors note that Honda treats the film's nuclear anxiety and proxy relationships between America and Japan differently. They note that the Rosiclin and it is an amalgam of
Haha.
Russia and America is portrayed as a pushy capitalist superpower that is more concerned with Nelson's money, allowing his crimes in Japan to go unpunished. I mean, yeah, we kind of do that, but
Yeah, and also, I mean, like one of the big things of why Japan put up with us too was because they were really scared of Russia, the
but
USSR at the time.
they also note that the Rolizika uh, atomic ray gun seems to violate Japan's three non-nuclear principles. They iterate that Honda's ideal of understanding and cooperation is achieved through religion, even noting that the religious-like iconography of Infant Island. However, they note the film's political satire never gets too serious. Rifle or Riffles notes that some writers compared the bombing of infant islands to Americans' bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and Nelson's kidnapping of the Shojibin. I've been pronouncing that this whole fucking time. I don't know why I'm fucking it up now. To America's occupation and forced westernization of Japan. Rifle or Riffle expresses that the film paints a bad portrait of Rosiclin and, by extension, the United States, noting that it exploits for atomic commercial gain via Nelson and Nelson press coverage, restrictions on the expedition in an attempt of covering up the made-up country's involvement in the bombing of Infant Island, and that shit
Honestly,
right there is why he didn't name it America. That's right there,
yeah.
because that them two just proved right there, like it would have been a shitstorm. Okay,
And even more of a thing is that like more than it is like the same as like the Nagasaki and stuff like bombings. It actually reminds me a lot of like the Bikini Island ones because there's like natives on a lot of those islands too that were just testing nukes at that they just got like a bunch of radiation sickness and we didn't tell them shit either.
Apparently, in this is just some trivial information. Before we get into our final thoughts, in 1961, Frankie Sakia and Mothra prop made a cameo appearance in Cheers. Mr. Oomori, whatever that is. Author Steve Riffle notes that the Song of Mothra has become a pop cultural reference, stating, even many people who've never seen this movie seem to have heard the song. Between 1996 and 1998, Toho produced a trilogy of Mothra films for a family-friendly audience.
Oh, I remember that. That's when they get Mothra Leo. It's the forms.
Colombian Pictures, their trailer did not reveal Mothra and mainly focused on the Shobijin and their mysterious link to Mothra. This synopsis used for the film's American press book was based on the original story rather than the final film, with the summary referring to the Shobijin as the Alinas. Columbia's press book advised theater owners to add police and armed services and a weapons display in the lobby with the caption, "These weapons cannot stop Mothra." Put signs on construction sites with the caption, "Mothra was here." Uh, send send two attractive street valley girls to abbreviated spacesuits through the main business district and school vicinities with signs on their backs reading Mothra, the world's most fantastic love story, and arrange a display of radioactive materials with a Geiger counter in the lobby to emphasize Mothra's power.
Oh, I
Hell
wish
yeah.
they do shit like that, but I like the school one though that the kids that are looking at the school would see like the two ladies with the signs on their backs. They're just gonna think those are some crazy people. Like some the next that's the new cult, I guess. Fucking we got a cult in town.
But you go to the
God
movie
damn.
theater and you see Mothra on the fucking. You're like, oh shit. Now you gotta go see it.
That's the first time I've ever heard them like do shit like that for like especially for a kaiju movie like that in the U.S. That's crazy.
Oh man, I can't fucking remember what kaiju, but I distinctly remember going to Walmart one day when I was super young, and this hotel had this huge ass. The hotel's still there too. It's right in front of the Walmart. It had this huge ass inflatable Godzilla out on, and there was a whole bunch of people there. Like there was an event going on for Godzilla or something. I don't know what that
Oh,
was about, but I think that's something like that. Like it was a promotional thing going on.
that's when you wish you could just wander away from your parents for a sec, just like
We were
let's see what's up
trying.
with that.
We were in the car, so I couldn't. I was like, oh, what the,
You
I
open the
just
door and roll.
I just distinctly the whole image of like the hotel, the big ass fucking God's inflatable Godzilla, and all the people that were like standing outside. It just
Oh, I wonder if it was a
sheared into
con.
my brain. I don't know, because nobody was dressed up. I don't. It looked like everybody was waiting in line for like theater basically.
Oh,
So I don't know what was
I want to
going
know.
on. Yeah, I want to know too. I want to know too because I think I'm the only one that remembers this. I don't think I I have never had anybody being like, "Oh fuck yeah, I remember that event happening." Like I do not know if this is like something that I just conjured up in my head, but it's there. Like it's sheared into my brain. Like this, I was like 4. I was super young.
Mm, damn.
But yes, the theatrical release,
Oh,
Mothra was released in Japan on July 30th, 1961, where it was distributed by Toho. The film was ranked 10th place in the Kinema Junpa's annual box office tally. The film was released by Columbia Pictures with an English dub produced by Tetra Studios on May 10th, 1962. Columbia released Mothra on a double bill with the Three Stooges in orbit. Yeah, boy!
fuck
Yeah,
yeah! That's an
boy!
awesome double
Oh, fuck
feature.
yeah, boy! Oh, shit. I wish I could go see that. That would
Oh
be a
shit!
double
It
feature.
had slapstick and everything too. It fucking works.
Oh, damn. Oh, man. I would have loved that double feature. That would have been the double feature to go see.
Three Stooges in motherfucking space.
In some markets, the American version runs at 90 minutes. Columbia acquired the North American rights to the film during pre-production. The film has been re-released theatrically in Japan since its release. This includes a shorter version of the film distributed by Toho with a 62-minute running time on December 14th, 1974. The version was edited by Ishiro Honda. Mothra was re-released theatrically in Japan on November 21st, 1982, as part of Toho's 50th anniversary.
Hiroshi Koizumi.
Hiroshi Koizumi believes the success of the film was a tribute to the Peanuts' involvement due to the twins being popular at the time of the film's release. That's kind of an understatement. They were huge, but hey, whatever. That's why I was a little confused when he was like, the Peanuts. I was like, he doesn't know who the fucking Peanuts is?
I don't fucking know what the Peanuts are.
It's like, I forget the numbers. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe the group is called. The 5, 6, 7,
yeah,
8.
I know them.
Yeah, they're just as big. They're just as big.
Gotcha.
But yes.
Are we doing critical?
Yeah. We're gonna do that. We always do that. The critical reception. Oh wait. Home media. In 2009, the Japanese and American version of Mothra was released on DVD by Sony Pictures Home Entertainment through their Icons of Sci-Fi Toho collection set. In 2019, Mill Creek Entertainment released the Japanese and American versions on Steelbox Blu-ray under for Sony. Now we can get into the
Sony strikes again.
Yeah, it's fucking Sony. Sony's been getting. I'm sick of Sony. Fucking so sick of Sony. I can't even get. I can't get into it right now, but just I can't even be mad at Sony for what happened recently. It was fucking David Gilmour that fucking did it. The piece of shit.
Yeah, you expect that from Sony. They're gonna grab whatever they can grab. It's in their nature. It's like getting mad at a scorpion for stinging you.
Like that. It's just not. It's infuriating. It's infuriating. But I'm gonna move on. Let's get on to the critical reception.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to read the critical reception first before we go to Rotten Tomatoes. No, I don't need the character. I need the movie. Dang it. Oh, I clicked back. Okay. Film critic. We're gonna skip the Rotten Tomatoes and do this. Film critic A.H. Weller in the New York Times gave the film generally positive review, singingly out the color and special effects for praise. There's that color, as pretty as can be, that now and then smites the eye with some generally artistic panoramas and decor designs. Hazel Flynn of the Los Angeles Citizen News stated the sight of the huge flying monster flapping its wings is one of the most impressive special effects I have ever encountered. Box Office magazine called the film one of the best of its kind. A reviewer for Variety called the film ludicrous and haphazardly executed.
Haphazardly executed. Stating that post-dubbed film is too awkward in dramatic construction and crude in histrionic style to score appreciably at the box office. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that smells good.
You did that much better than I did. So yes, and
Thank you.
now we can get to Rotten Tomatoes. On Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score is 80%. The audience score is 64%. Can't really be mad at any of those. Like it's
Yeah.
that's pretty par for the course.
I like the one guy that was just like, "Ooh, color," because color's relatively new.
Yeah, he just added in there
It's
his color.
pretty.
It's a pretty moth. Oh, look at
Our
the pretty
party.
moth. All right, so that was it. That's
Yeah.
that was it for that. It's time for final thoughts. Do you want to go first, or am I going first? Who's going first?
I guess I could go first, though I don't. I'm trying to. Damn it! I kind of wish I wrote down. But we had a couple movies in between this. I'm trying to, and I'm also like, now when I think back, I'm like, no, that was Mothra versus Godzilla that I'm thinking that scene from. But um, but now that we kind of gone through it, and I kind of, I'd say I give this movie like I think it's a good, for a kaiju movie, give it a 4. Give it a good solid 4. I think.
All right.
That's a really, yeah. I think so.
Do you got anything to say? Is there anything that sticks out about it, or?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was fun as fuck. It was real wild. We watched. I know we watched the dub, so we. I mean, I still had fun with it, other than whatever the fuck. That dude wasn't even named. He shouldn't even be named, Mr. Reviewer for Variety. It's a fun ass film, especially night like coming out right out of 1961. This is kind of like still in that early phase of them figuring out shit. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's way better than Mothra versus Godzilla because I think it was good that I kind of watched Mothra versus Godzilla like right after this too because like how much they kind of like really try to redo, but like that makes no sense in Mothra vs. Godzilla. They just have things in it because they had those things in this movie, but like this movie actually had explanations to like why, like with the box, and like and what they of course they had to have a capitalist guy. Same. We really just try to do it the same thing, but then also like Godzilla's there, just like drunk. Uh, so, I give this one a 4.5 actually. Like thinking of like monster movies at the time, and especially some of the Godzilla sequels that were happening, which I think I actually rated kind of low because I watched them like pretty close to the original Godzilla film. I'd say like this one kind of holds true to a lot of the themes. I like a lot better. I mean, it's a lot less like heavy-handed, but I mean, it's there. You could see it with like what they're doing, and yeah, I mean, fucking great monster. I mean, I loved all the special effects. I mean, I have a huge bias for that anyway. But it did keep things going. I think we might have got the short version because I remember seeing that this was like an hour and like 50 minutes like one time, and then I looked, it was like an hour 20.
I'm not
So
sure. I'm not
that,
sure.
that might have helped. But yeah, I think that's what I could stumble out of my brain unprepared.
All right. Well, I again we're kind of on the same wavelength. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 as well. Like you said, I enjoy this more than Mothra versus Godzilla. It I'm a sucker for moths, and it's a
Mhm.
moth kaiju and they didn't just make it like one of those bland moths. They gave it some unique design to the point where some people mistaken Mothra for um if you is that your lighter?
Oh, sorry, I'm playing with dice.
Okay, I thought you were like flicking the lighter wheel, but yeah,
No.
back to what I was saying. Like they made Mothra, like people mistaken it for a butterfly sometimes, and I kind of like that
Yeah.
aspect of it. Like it because it does add the feminine nature to it because Mothra
Mm-hmm.
is supposed to be a female kaiju, which
Yeah.
that's unique. You know, there hasn't been up to this point. There's only been male kaiju's. This is the first female kaiju, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just also unique that they made it a fucking moth. And again, I just moths are fucking cool, and like you said, that it's a great. The I love the song that came from it. It's great. The Peanuts they do amazing in this, and the effects are top notch, and it's a kaiju film that you should watch after Godzilla. This is the kaiju, like you watch Godzilla, and then you watch this one. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
watch any others if you don't really care about kaiju, but just just to get the feel of what an actual kaiju movie is, because this is where the people start creeping into the plot. But in this, because the people are focused are also the Shobujin, it's actually they get connection to the monster, and unlike
Yeah.
in later films where there is no connection whatsoever, except sometimes there's a kid that has a psychic link with Godzilla sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but only in his
Mm-hmm.
dreams. Yeah, that's gonna come up later.
Oh yeah.
And the plots are gonna get real out there, and the humans are gonna be so detached from the monster elements that the human elements are really gonna bring down the and this is this film that starts. That's why I gotta give it a little bump down, because even though they were creative with the human drama of the movie, it's still present that I don't care about the
Mm-hmm.
humans. I'm here for the monster, and I want destruction, and I want then the go. The monster don't even have to die at the end. Like the destruction and leave like they do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what I'm here for. The kaiju. But hey, yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Take notes, Atragon.
Fucking oh, Atragon was so bad. It was so bad. And all they cared about was the fucking submarine.
I just want to play summary.
But yeah, I think this is the part where I do the outro. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I go, oh, if you've
Yeah.
been listening to us ramble this long, thank you so much. Please leave a like, comment what you think in the comment section below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to know when we go live so you can interact with us during the pre and post show. Um, and this is the part where I go, hey, does any of my co-hosts have a sign off?
Oh, it's the time. What's the best 420 fucking smoke spot in this fucking movie? Oh, fucking Newkirk City, honestly, because fucking fake ass fucking place that you can never go to because it's like America, but it's also like Italy. Sometimes it has a volcano, but not in the movie. I don't know. It's a fucking mind fuck, but I'm smoking there. So I could say that I smoked weed in Newkirk City, and then I got shot.
Well, you can do that. I'm going to Mothra's chamber. I'm smoking with
I
Mothra. Yo, boy.
was trying not to be too easy, but smoke weed every day. Into the
and
segment. That's how I end the segment.
and that I have to give my outro, which is I got to remember, got to remind you to tell your kids, tell your children that cats die, music fades, but art is for keeps. And go hell Henry Zabrowski and Marcus Parks and Ed Larson.
Had your kids, had your wife.
This will be a bye-bye.
Bye bye.